Hello, it's Jimmy here. Already looking at a Range Rover Sport here. Well, we haven't looked at it yet, but we're just setting it up. Okay, inside it's got a restricted performance sign that comes up here. Engine management light on as well. There's your restricted performance that comes up. We did just have an engine management light on until I plugged in my diagnostic machine, but anyway. Okay, run a scan on the diagnostic machine here. We've got a historic fault for the EGR valve, and then we've got another one, P0486-16 exhaust recirculation throttle position control. That says to me that is the throttle valve, the plate, which obviously comes, you get two EGR pipes that come in to the EGR throttle plate, and that opens and closes. So the range performance of that, very common, but obviously this is one of the older models. I do suspect it's the same fault but a different fault code, that the throttle plate is getting stuck. We'll try and have a look at that. We're going to have to raise the bonnet and dismantle a few bits and pieces to get in there. Now we'll have a look what other fault codes we have. Tailgate trunk, key transponder. None of these are really important. Not important to the running of the engine anyway. DAB, battery voltage. Right, let's oh, I've gone off completely there, but let's switch the engine off and we'll have a look under the bonnet. Okay, so we'll get this engine oil cap off. Lift off the engine cover and we get that removed. Now if we give this a little bit of a pull, that cover should come off. Put that over there. Now I can already see that we've got an oil leak here somewhere. Let's put that back on for a minute. We've got an oil leak, so maybe a leak around here. There seems to be definitely more of a build-up in this area. So the rubber seal, there's an O-ring there that should be on that. That's missing, so that's why we've got oil everywhere there. But we're not going to rule out, is this leaking as well? We'll check that as well. So just down here we're opening an 8mm bolt. It's hard to see, there you go. Just opening that off. These older ones have got a bolt that holds that in. Some of the newer versions of these don't have this bolt. And then we need to get this clip off. I don't know what you'd call it, a horseshoe clip. I'm just going to get a little pick tool down here, see if we can grab the end of it and pull it off. We had it there. Let's try and put the torch on that. A little bit of a better view. There we go. We've got it. Put that over there. Now we should now be able to pull this out. Not as much room on these versions, these older Range Rovers, because it is pressed against the fan. Now what I'm gonna suspect is this flap is sticking. Yep, the flap is sticking. Now obviously there's just probably different wording for it, but obviously the exhaust gas recirculation throttle valve. These are the exhaust gas recirculation pipes that come into the throttle body here with a throttle valve plate that sits right there, so that's getting stuck. Now there is a slight chance that obviously it might need the EGR valves replacing as well. Very difficult to do, they're right down there. You need to dismantle a lot of stuff to get in there, which I'm not going to do here now on the side of the road. If it needs that doing at another point, that can be done. You can see how much oil has been leaking out of here. Right, now the problem is I did not know what fault codes this car had, and it's come from a couple hours away. I haven't got a throttle body here, and I'm not going to get one today. I don't think. We'll have a ring around, but I'll show you a little trick what you can do to free it off temporarily at least. Okay, so I've got a trim tool here wedged right up against, in the middle of the plate. You've got a piece that you can grab hold of there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a hard smack with my hand from this end. Okay, so what I've done there is I've held it in place and then given it a nice hard tap with my hand. And what that done is it's now freed up the plate. Look, you can press that as hard as you can. You'll hear a click as it moves to the right, and once that's done, the plate doesn't stick anymore. I used to try and fall these down a bit to get them done stick, but I learned through experience, you get one of them, this fits perfectly onto that little center plate there. There's a center piece, sorry, there in the middle, where you can grab hold of it and just click it back to the right, and it clicks back into place literally. They slide across the swivel arm, or rod, whatever you'd like to call it, and that frees that up. Now I've got these little box of O-rings. We just find the right one and get it fitted on there. Click that back into place, so that's not going to leak anymore. It's not going to spray oil everywhere. Now someone's probably going to ask, where did you get that from? What's the numbers for it? There they are, PXP136 Pearl Consumables. I got that from Bennett's Car Parts, but you can, I suppose, get similar ones from wherever. Right, we're clearing all the fault codes now. This also had a fault code for a block DPF that was cleared before I started the work here. So let's start the vehicle up again now. We'll take it for a run, see what happens. Okay, so before I set off, I did notice that we have the fault come back again for that. So what I'm going to do is do a throttle valve calibration. That's complete. Now if anyone wants to ask what tool this is that's doing this, this is a Launch UK Eurotab 3. Turn the ignition back on again, clear the fault codes, and we'll try that again. Okay, so the fault has cleared, restricted performance lights are gone, performance. So we'll take it on a test drive now and see what happens. Okay, back from a test drive, we've got a code that's come back. Differential pressure too high, bank 1. Now obviously, now that we've fixed the throttle plate, the car has, I take it, tried to do a regen during the test drive. The pressure is a little bit too high and it's given up. So let's have a look at the data stream if we can for that. Oh, it doesn't work there. Let's go to the data stream here. Differential pressure. Okay, so I can't find the differential pressure. Let's have a look. DP, no DPF. Particulate filter. Let's see what that says. Well, we can't get a proper reading. Voltage 2.261. Diesel particle filter remaining volume is at 0. So alright, we'll have to maybe go underneath with a manometer and check the pressure live, because we can't find the DPF pressure on live data. We've got 2.261 volts, which seems high, yeah. Okay, so just disconnecting the pressure sensor, we'll connect up a manometer here to the DPF. So we've got around about 90 millibars of pressure. Right, sorry, it's hard to get a visual on there with the camera, but yeah, we've got sort of 85 to 92 millibars of pressure on idle, so quite high. Right, so I've got a kit here set up. This is a pressurized gun for cleaning DPFs, and it goes with this Launch UK DPF cleaning fluid. Connected up to a compressor, 130 psi, and we get that sprayed into the DPF. Alright, now this tube where I've removed the DPF pressure sensor from, I've connected this pressurized gun up. Now we're going to squeeze the trigger, get the fluid pushed in into the DPF. So just going to hold that trigger squeezed until all the fluid's gone in. Okay, we're empty. All done. Okay, now all the fluid's put back in, we've reconnected the DPF hoses. We'll get back in and start the vehicle up now. Start it up. We'll let it run for a minute. We'll hold the revs up to 3000 RPM. You can can see there the voltage has come down. I'll do something a little bit different this time, just watching the voltage. As the voltage comes down, we'll know that the pressure is less resistance, less voltage. I will see the vapour there coming from the DPF. Right, so to clear this code I'm going to need to go into special functions. We've already done the throttle body, so now I need to go to exhaust emissions, particle filter replacement. Otherwise the code won't clear. Get that to clear and then we can clear the fault code. And the next bit is going to clear the fault code. There we go. Okay, now it's all been reset successfully. Switch the ignition off. Now we should have no fault codes, so if we start the vehicle back up, let's go in and have a look at that. Obviously that code is there, that's just because the screen is froze where we left it off, so the code is gone. And if we come back now, we've got a belt squeal started. Got a coolant leak. Like it's coming from the thermostat, so that's going to need to be changed. See, just in there, plastic thermostat housing, it's split right in half. It's cracked. That's a bit unfortunate. I've just rang my suppliers and they haven't got one in stock, so this is an unlucky one. It looks like you might have to get it towed. Right, well, that didn't go to plan. We were all finished just about, DPF done, reset, and then we got a coolant leak. So unfortunately we can't get hold of a thermostat housing until tomorrow. The guy obviously is just here on the side of the road, so he's unfortunately going to have to get recovered home for now. Okay, so we've come to a bit of agreement. What the customer's going to do is he's going to leave the car here. Then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll fit that piece that goes in the middle. It's actually a coolant flange, not a thermostat. So we'll be back tomorrow, we'll get it fitted and hopefully we'll continue the video from there. Okay, so I've had to go away, come back. We've now got the part that we need, so we're going to get that fitted on. So here it is. Hopefully Land Rover have given me the right part. This is the number that they've given me, and it sits down between the block, joins both of them together there. Okay, so we're back a little way into it now. I've removed the front part here. So usual story, if you've seen me fitting these throttle bodies before, just gonna have to take that off and we'll then be able to access the part underneath. So we'll take out that bolt and then we've got two clamps either side here for the EGR, and we should be able to just twist up this throttle body and remove it. Okay, so we just got those clamps there disconnected, and if we lift this up and twist it, out she comes. Needs a good clean up as well. So there we have it, split thermostat housing or coolant flange, whatever you'd like to call it. Right, so I've just removed the two hoses there, basically 1 and 2 there, and obviously it shouldn't be in half, but this one is in half because it's broken. You can see there how it just sort of molds together, or they glue it together, or whatever way you'd like to say it. So not a very good design really, is it, when it's in the middle of the engine in a hot area like that. Brittle piece of plastic. Okay, now holding this down, there's 4 8mm bolts. You see one right there and another one that side, and then you got 2 on this side as well. So we'll get these open. Okay, got those bolts open. So there is no thermostat in there. I was thinking it might have been a thermostat, but it's just a coolant flange really to join the two sides of the V together. Okay, we've got, looks like a gasket on both sides there left behind. Take those off and then try and clean this area up before we get the new ones fitted. Just use a bit of a rag to wipe this up. Don't want to use any any cleaning solvents or anything, because it's going to go down inside the block. So just wipe away any grease from around where the gaskets are going to sit. So that's it, that's the new part all bolted down. Put a little bit of grease around the seal there, both seals, and just got to fit it down nice. Obviously this, you know, the oil that's been leaking in around there, it's going to be too difficult to clean all that out. That's just aesthetics. As long as we got the gasket areas clean, that's all we're looking at. Now we can get these pipes connected back up here. We've got the one pipe that goes there, little small one on here, and the big one back here. So we're just in the middle now of putting all this back together. Put all of these clamps back together, all of the hot pipes here, just put everything back the way it came off. Okay, so that's it all back together. We can get this one here binned. Now we can get the coolant filled up, get the engine started up. We can top it up again. So now just hold the revs up for a few minutes again with the pedal depressor there. Got some more smoke or steam coming out of the exhaust there. Okay, we'll give that a few minutes. We're just gonna keep topping up the coolant as it warms up. It's gonna start using some of that coolant down, and we'll just top it up as it goes. Wait until the thermostat's opened up, and then we should be all good to go. Right, coolant's all bled up. We've got the engine up to operating temperature. Now you shouldn't have any more problems holding the revs on it for a few minutes. That's what happens when some of these cars are a little bit older. If your car's running right, you should be able to hold the revs there for an hour on it, no problem. But just one of those things. We got it all sorted now. Right, all done. You can make his way home. See you in the next video.